Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box. With your hosts, Oz Osborne and Pee Wee Taylor.
Welcome back to the Oz
and Pee Wee
show,
yes.
Part 2. Because it was too much to fit in one, and you guys, I know, we're just...
You want something every week.
You want something every week, and we are just egomaniac enough to oblige you.
Make 2 episodes out of this.
Yeah.
One was not good enough. We needed 2.
The guy that we had on that was most interesting, and we talked for 2 hours afterwards, we just cut him to an hour. You know, me and Pee Wee, we'll talk.
That would have been a long conversation for somebody to have to sit in without any chiming in.
Yeah. But anyway, welcome back, guys. We're doing this. We're doing it. Like you said, you wanted one once a week. Okay, we'll oblige this week. So next week, maybe. And then, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we can do this. But like I said, we got shit on our plate that we don't always get to do what we want. So we're going to try our best. Anyway, we don't have any news because we just told you about 10 minutes ago when we filmed episode part 1.
What's going to be happening in 2 weeks? I'll be putting the car back together. I'm predicting the future.
You're predicting the future?
Yeah, the car will be going back together. I am
predicting that we will probably be doing another podcast.
In 2 weeks? No, in 2... Yeah, we'll be making another podcast.
So we're going to forego that.
We'll be painting plastic parts that are sitting on the counter behind me.
Yeah, those parts. Did you get 5-minute epoxy at Walmart?
Oh, fuck.
Pee Wee, write it down.
You were there with me.
I told you in the Walmart you need a 5-minute epoxy. Now that
Did you tell me that at Walmart?
You know what? Right now we're arguing like it is the Oz and Pee Wee same-sex relationship. Let's not bore
these people. There's none of that going on.
I like Pee Wee. I don't like him that much. Anyway,
ditto.
What we're going to do here is something that I wanted to bring up a while ago. We're going to talk about some custom terminologies. And I think that some of the stuff... Now, this is the way I look at things. it's not to say that it's right, it's wrong, but I'm looking at things from the old school. Like I said in the last episode, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in this episode. No, it's going to be in this episode because of a later question about
Yeah,
Ed Roth and
that's the
Von
second.
Dutch. So, but we're going to go into this as far as some of the custom terminologies is going and the proper ways to use them. I think a lot of them are not used properly, and maybe people don't even know. So hopefully this is something. Custom. Custom is thrown around all over the place. I'm going to tell you what. Custom does not come out of a box, okay? If you got new headlights and taillights, they're not custom. Those are aftermarket, okay? If you can bolt it on, it's aftermarket, okay? That's just it. I think a lot of the custom term has been thrown out there a lot because of, places like SEMA and whatnot. They're selling their parts. They want you to feel that this is it. Well, in truth, the true word custom is one of a kind, or in other words, another term that we use is
Custom
one
made
off.
to custom you.
So when you do something to be custom, like it's made to be something different, okay?
Right.
Custom paint, for instance. Custom paint isn't if you painted the car the same color that it was, but if you used a color off of a Subaru or something, yes, that is called a custom paint. And that one would be something that could go back to the way it was, but it's not. So custom is, like I said, is more essentially used as a one-off. A part that you put on it is not custom. It is an aftermarket part. If we look at it in the body shop, that's the way we look at a lot of things. If it's not OEM, which is original
equipment manufacturer.
Thank you. Original equipment manufacturer, and then you have your aftermarket parts, which would be your taillights from Spider or whatever else.
There's John Gong fenders that don't fit.
Who's a Zhong Gong?
They make those Chinese fenders.
Oh.
You ever used them?
Yang Mang!
Was it Yang Meng? No, it was Yang Meng. Those are awful.
You got
it?
You got a hammer, you can make that shit fit.
Well, they're all like small too.
Certifit, retrofit, yeah.
Whatever.
Retrofit something different. Anyway, but yeah. Now, if you're gonna buy something and you're gonna make it completely different, then it's a custom part. I like to, and we've kind of adopted a thing that there's nothing that we use that's straight out of a box. Yeah, there's some, but we're gonna change it and we're gonna push it so that all of our parts are modified because, in our view, we don't want to look like everybody else. And I hope that you guys feel the same way, because why would you want to look like everybody else? I know we all want to fit in a little bit, but anyway. I talked about aftermarket. I hate looking at the notes, but I wrote this like 3 weeks ago.
It's been very crazy.
Another term that we use, and it's another thing that's kind of like one-off or custom, is one-off. One-off means there's one of a kind. There's not another one like it. If you were to look at the roll pan on rail and box, you do not buy that in a store. That roll pan came from, where do we go? Rural King,
Yeah.
Flat stock,
Yeah.
round bar, and we took those parts and put it together and made this into that. That's a one-off part. A lot of that stuff is that way. Front bumpers, whatnot, and that is basically it. Basically, one-off is going to involve some kind of fabrication or something along them lines.
One-off means you had to make it. There's only one. That's what
And
one-off means.
That's where I'll draw the line. I understand that some of you guys are into the JDM thing. That's what I never got. I understand that the parts are rare, but I would much rather have a rarer part and be the one of one, which is one-off.
It's cheaper. Means. It's cheaper too.
The sad thing is,
It is. It's cheaper to go buy, like, take your bumper and modify it than it is to go ship one and buy that.
Yeah. But
it is.
Again, this is all just me, but I'm trying to get you guys to understand a little bit of the terminology. Fabricated. Fabricated means you're basically making it something from scratch. You're picking up some parts, like Randode. This here is made from scratch from Randode. And he bent the metal, welded on some tabs, did some cool shit. Not only that, he's the one that sat down and figured out how to make this work.
It's got well nuts. That's nice.
This is a fabricated part. Now, this is an aftermarket fabricated part, unless you're Randode, because Randode makes it.
I think we've got it explained.
Do we?
I think so.
I think this is probably the most boring section that we've ever done.
It might be.
Might
But
be.
you gotta, because people don't know.
It's hard for us guys because we're trying to do this for you guys, and I know it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve as far as us getting used to doing things having one every week. So
Yeah, it's
we
gonna
wanna
be
get this out
new to
you.
try and get it the timing, and make it seem like it's not being filmed at one shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
So it's a little bit of a learning curve, so bear with us a little bit. What's another term that you think is misused a lot?
wide body.
Wide body, I do agree.
That's used, and that's not even XBs. That's in general. Like, people will get fender flares or those bolt-on ones and call it wide body. Like, no, actual wide bodies where you have to cut in.
and I don't even think that's
You
the
know.
way a railing box is.
No,
Because
it's not.
railing box, I actually did.
I don't think railing box is a wide body. You just made the wheels
I
fit.
flared it, and I never.
You flared it to make the wheels fit. That's not,
Yeah.
wide
So
body.
and that's a weird thing, and that's wide body, like the body kit. I've seen the pictures of that bouncing around this week where there's people are posting up that squared freaking body kit that pushes it out a little bit, where it adds like 2 inches to each side
For an XB?
for an XB1.
Oh,
You've
yeah,
seen it.
I've seen it.
It's not the prettiest thing, but that basically is a wide body. But even that is kind of bastardized, I believe. You know, the real way to do a wide body is to cut the body, pull it out. People are putting these,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Rocket Bunny body kit really is not a wide body. It's just a piece of fiberglass that you put on.
350Zs are like offenders of this.
Yeah. The big freaking fender flares and whatnot. But what else we got? What else do you think is missed?
Misused. Oh, I've got two. Laid out is misused a lot.
Laid out is misused a lot.
What's another?
Well,
Tuck.
tuck.
Tuck is misused sometimes.
Yeah. Well, tuck is pretty easy to get to. You know, yeah, you may only be tucking a tire or a little bit of the tire, but it's fairly easy. And you can tuck with stance. These guys are if you're tucking
If you
that,
do it right, yeah.
if you're putting that wheel where that ultimate stance is, where it's like between the freaking tire and the freaking rim,
I will never get
it's
that.
tucking, man. I'm telling you, it is.
It
But
is. It's tucking. It's just.
the term tuck is just that. You're tucking tire or something in there. As for what was the other one you had just before it?
Laid out.
Laid out. Laid out. Laid out, guys. Laid out. Laid out is not just lowering your vehicle down to its lowest. It is actually putting the fiberglass or some kind of body part on the ground. You're not laid out if your body kit is an inch off the ground. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that?
No.
That's me as well.
Aired out is the term.
Aired out. Yeah,
I
that's cool.
air out. I don't lay
Yeah,
out.
but you know what? A lot of that slammed in the weeds. All those words are kind of just bastardized a lot because if you look at it as mini truck terms, the word laid out is you've got that thing laid on the ground. And I know that's another thing. Everybody that is low thinks that, oh, dude, it's laying on. Dude, 2-inch drop is not laying on the ground. And that's not just saying that you get talking to our video
That's in
audience.
general.
That's talking
That's
to
in
every
general.
goddamn car TV show I watch. Oh my God, that thing slammed. It's laying on the ground. Dude, it's 5 inches off the ground. I could fucking drive under that fucking thing. I'm just trying to
Those
say.
Sunday car shows kill me.
I'm just trying to say with a lot of this, guys. I want to help everybody understand and learn. I want to get everybody on the same page, and that's why I'm bringing this up. You guys can sit there and motherfuck me because I do it on TV too. But
Yeah, but we're not TV. We are, but
yeah, dude, I'm coming from the old school, so maybe I'm just a grumpy old guy. Hey,
What?
don't be pushing on my wing. Get a
I'm
break
not pushing on the wing. Go like that.
We just want to bring
a
some of
car
that
there.
to you guys and try to help you guys out a little bit so you can understand it. I think there's a lot of people we talk online and we don't necessarily know what we're saying. I do that in political chats.
I don't talk about anything political because it's so fucking stupid. I just don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway.
All right.
So that's just a little bit we've got here for you guys. We're going to keep this one short and sweet, and we're going to send you off to listen to us ramble about ourselves as well.
Part 2.
Part 2. Who we got in there? We got Mr. Brandon Gray.
Yep.
Miss
Travis
Rake, and Melissa Hall.
Yep.
And we got some questions in there from
Will.
We got to thank you guys for all your help with that.
Yes.
And
thank you.
We will continue. You guys got some questions you want to ask, hit me up, and we will put them on here, and maybe you can see yourself on this big picture.
The TV. Well, hopefully it'll be down there soon.
Yes.
What are some common recalls for the Gen 2 XB that the dealerships will take care of us at no charge to us if it passes or fails, for that matter? What are some of those that we can look out for the people that are new to being owners, whether it be a Gen 1 or a Gen 2? What are some common recalls for our cars that we can go get taken?
Okay, it sounds like more of a me question, yeah?
I don't know shit about it.
Okay, so Takata airbag recalls affected a lot of stuff. If you didn't get a letter in the mail, you can go to the federal website. I don't know the name of it. Look it up. People are getting lazy with looking things up. They'll tell you if you have a safety recall and you can go get it fixed, and they by law have to fix it. The oil consumption one's the big one for the second gens. A lot of these places will do the test and they don't want to do it. They keep telling you, oh, it passed. You're not consuming oil even though you're burning. Because the test is they put this like strip of paper, like they measure your oil. They do like an oil change and they measure your oil and they're like, oh, well, you know, you're not burning enough oil to fail. Because it has to burn like 2.5 quarts or something between oil changes. But if it's just below that, they pass it. So they don't have to fix it because they replace the piston rings.
That's a lot of labor.
And they basically blow apart the motor. But like they did the Camry. They did my brother's Camry. And I'm not going to say who did it, but they streamlined the process and just did it. Because I told them, I'm like, dude, this thing is burning oil. And they fixed it. The other one is the window switches on the second gens. Apparently, they had a risk of catching on fire.
Damn.
Do you want to know what the fix is? They take this expensive-ass lube. It's in like a tube. It's gold contact solution. It's like you know the shit they put on bulbs, like bulb grease?
Yeah, it's
like that, but it's got gold.
Grease.
And they smear it in, and they plug it back in and put the door panel back on, and that's the fix. Because the window switches would overheat. It's really dumb. And I only think it happened to like 2 cars or something.
Well, and
it's just enough for it to maybe be a safety concern. First gens, I don't know.
Dude,
just the airbags.
When it comes to this stuff, I am not. I'll tell you right now, I'm not a Scion guy. I don't care about freaking relief series. I don't care.
Well,
about
even
recalls.
if they're not gonna take this back, they're gonna. You brought that to a dealership to shoo you out like the plague.
But I'll try to answer questions like this, but I'm not the person. I'm glad Pee Wee knows a little bit about it, but I don't know anything about this. I'm just about freaking cutting shit up.
Well, even if they hit me with the airbag recall, yeah, I don't even have the stock steering wheel, so it doesn't really matter.
So that's about all we know on that. If you guys know anything else, you can throw it down below. What else we got? I grabbed the wrong mouse again.
We switched.
We're gonna change this to that.
What's up, guys? Glad to be here. Jim, this question's for you, man. What made you decide to want a body drop in XB?
Thanks, Brandon. Sorry for you guys that the video is a little dark on there, and I unfortunately we can't adjust it. Dude, I'll tell you what, it's a story itself to how I came about doing that. I come from mini truck world. Everything's got to be laying on the ground, and when it's laying on the ground, then you got to be have the biggest wheels. That's why I do what I do. The XBs, I looked at how everybody was going, and I kept seeing, body kits hitting the ground and this and that. And I know Alan would know what this whole thing.
Yeah.
He put this huge body kit on his car, and I had a picture where I took a garbage can and I shoved it under my daily, and I said, "Look, I'm low."
I'm low too.
But that poor guy took a lot of shit to get off topic here for a second. I remember the first time I met him, he shows up and he's like, his car said something about being low, and I looked at him and went. But that was my thing.
He's import low.
My whole thing with everything, and it doesn't matter whether it be a Scion or whatever, it's about being different. I don't want to go into a parking lot and lose my car. And it's really hard for me to do with a daily, and that's why I finally got another XB. But I came up with the idea of how to do it. I do all my thinking in the shower. I know that sounds weird.
I think a lot in the shower too.
But I think I was in the shower one day and I got out and I said, Rando, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, I think I figured out how to do this. I think I'm going to do it. And all Rando had said was, do it. Because nobody knew how to be low. And I still, to this day, there's
not unibody like that on that car.
There's definitely a difference in how import guys look at low, and that's not to say my way is right and that theirs isn't and whatnot.
Give them the short, sweet example of how we view low differently.
Low on a mini truck is you have to be laying the body on the ground, and when I say body, it's not a body kit. You have to lay metal on the ground, and even pinch weld sometimes is frowned upon. It's a little bit of an ego thing. People will be like, oh, you know what? I can lay frame. And then they're like, oh, well, I can lay pinch. And then, oh, I can lay door. It's all a little bit of ego thing. But you know what? It's the same.
That's the way it is. It's the attitude.
It's the same thing as, oh, my Chevy's faster than your Ford. It's all the same. But I wanted to show people that, and I don't think that people quite understand it. And that's why we did the one video here. If you haven't seen it, go back to watch the video on anatomy of a low, which kind of explains the whole body drop, because I don't want to get into that now.
We'll save the.
But that's basically it. I wanted low, and to put a little more to it, I was a little bit of an egomaniac at the time, and I wanted that fucking title.
I think you still are, but
I'm getting old.
You're mellowing out a little bit.
But I'll tell you what, and I've talked to people about this with other cars. They're like, oh, I want that title. The title don't mean shit. It's just a fucking thing to throw out there. I'll tell you one thing it does do.
It makes a good hashtag.
It gets you into freaking shows a little bit, but if you got to have those. But it really doesn't mean anything. And I just, to be honest, I want to push things. I want to show people that you can do more, and that's one of the reasons why we get so many people that do these XB trucks. And I always say, too many trucks, not enough body drops. The trucks are cool. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't want a big guy in a truck.
It kind of goes into the same thing as all. Well, when we started this whole Scion group, there was a commercial for the Deviants, and it was because you didn't want to fit in with everybody. But I'm sorry to say it, 90% of the freaking Scion crowd is all trying to be the same now.
I agree with that. I see that going on too, but I feel that we have the 10% watching this show.
Well,
I think that's starting. I think that's a thing that's happening.
the other thing is,
And I hope that people change their mind on
Well-
wanting to be like, the same look or the same
I think
style.
the problem with it is that it's a mindset. Everybody gets into it and they see what everybody else is doing and they want to fit in. Don't get me wrong. There's parts of me that want to fit in, and then there's parts of me that don't want to fit in, and it's a fucking argument all the time. But
Yeah, I have that argument with myself too.
and
sometimes.
that's why another reason why we kind of started this podcast. We want to show you guys. We want to show you that you can do more than what everybody else is
We
doing.
want people to expand out and go for it.
and
We
do it.
want people, like, even import people. I want import people. I want all XB people, but...
I'm not saying to go out and buy a car that you're still paying on and freaking go out and cut the floor out of it.
No,
when
I
you're
mean,
on
you
the
got to
ground,
use
but-
some common sense, but I think people need to sometimes just go
But
for it.
To go back
It's
to
just, as you told me, every time we've done something major, it's just metal.
it's just metal.
It's just metal. You can fix that.
I
If
was-
it goes wrong, we'll fix it.
I was
I'm like,
told
okay.
once, if you screw it up, somebody else can fix it. It's the
That's,
truth.
that was you who told me that, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that sounds like something you would say.
Well, and I got it from somebody else, so I'm not going to take credit from that. But
That's how
it.
I go in to do stuff. I'm like, if it goes sideways, somebody knows, somebody can help me.
Everybody's scared. There's a guy this week. Okay,
It takes balls to cut holes in the roofs, by the way.
the guy's like, dude, I want double-sided tape to put my wing on, and I'm like, dude, it's 4 holes. All you have to do is measure. Oh, that's beyond my thing. Okay, I'm not saying to go out and do that and to not do do something that's going to ruin your vehicle, but take some steps to learn. And I'm the same way. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do anything. Everybody's like, "Oh, I wish I had your talent." Well, you know what? I didn't have it. I went out and got it. I freaking tore shit apart. And I'll tell you, the shit that I screw up, you don't see it on Instagram. You don't see it on
Instagram
Facebook.
is the perfect way to filter out all of the imperfections.
You do shit. And that is the biggest problem with nowadays, that people are afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's one of the things that's cool about this podcast or videocast is I learn mistakes from my mistakes.
Oh,
and I
we make
them.
mistakes all the time on this show.
But
If you watch closely, you'll probably catch all of them because we don't edit out mistakes.
no.
We only edit to improve, like, viewer interest and, like, the way it looks and how we add stuff in and with pictures and videos.
But-
Other than that, we don't sit here and edit it to fix our fuck-ups.
No. But that's just it, dude. Don't be scared to freaking make mistakes. Believe me, I made mistakes when I did the body drop. I fixed them and I learned from them. And that's how you know. And that's how when I sit here and I give advice for people online, I know because I've done it. And if I don't know, or if I make a mistake and I don't know something and somebody corrects me, I'll admit it. Because
Right.
I learn. So, anyway, thanks, Brandon.
Next question.
Wrong mouse again.
Hey guys, my question for you. Both of you have done really extensive cutting on your vehicles. At any point during that, did you think, man, probably shouldn't have done this? Or did you think, maybe I should have been a little more extreme with this?
We almost just covered that.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. It's never extreme enough. I think one time when I was cutting the roof off my 87 Toyota, that's the only time I regretted something. And now I wouldn't regret it because, like we just said in the last thing, it was, it's metal. You can fix
It's
it.
just metal.
If I fuck up a fender, I can go get a new one.
That's how I do it. I'm like, I've done stuff and then taken it out and changed it or replaced it or done something different. So
Well, and I'm going to say this.
I'm becoming a little more fearless over the years because when I first got my XP, I wasn't going to do anything to that car.
No, and I love fucking with
And-
people like that.
He does this thing where he likes to take people and just do it. he's a real he knows how to push you in like ways that make you want to do it just because you're mad.
Yes, and you need a red interior.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it still.
But anyway,
I just don't like
the point. The point with the
Anyway,
thing
yeah.
is, dude. And this is something that came to me today. Okay, if you play it safe, you ain't gonna get anywhere. You look at all these people. Okay?
you don't get famous for being boring.
No, you don't.
You don't.
You look at all these stars that you see on TV, and you're like, oh man, I want to be that guy. That guy. I remember Jim Carrey slept in his car, lived in his car. Look at him now. You got to take risks. You got to freaking go out of your comfort zone to get there. And, you know, posting a bunch of pictures of your car, you know, I see it. We were talking about this earlier. You know, we get on some of the boards and it's like everybody just wants to be, hey, here's my car. Here it is. Here it is. And nobody looks at them anymore. And that's what I've been consciously trying to do is not respond and put my picture, but to like other people's and to say stuff just because there's so many people out there, and that's all it's become is, oh, look at me, look at me. And don't get me wrong, I was that way too, and I still am to a certain extent.
I was, for a long time, I didn't want to do that, and then I started doing it, and now I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that.
But that's it. You don't regret anything. You know, everything you do, whether, you know, even it comes to your personal life, you know, don't regret it. Just go through it because life is life, and you're going to learn.
I'll tell you what, though, cutting holes in roofs are like it's real fun.
It is fun.
When you hit a point where you've got your lines taped up, you've got it all measured out, and you hit a point where you're cutting and you're like, we're past the point of no return. It's kind of fun. It's like real fucking fun, actually.
There's no way to break the fucking internet without being scared.
Yeah, shit's scary, dude. Sometimes you just gotta trust your homie and just go for it.
I thank you much for that one. Let's get to the next one.
That's a good one. Next.
Do you guys feel? I mean, I know how I feel about it, but do you guys feel like there is an elitist mindset when it comes to Gen 1 owners, especially some of the more OG guys? The newer people aren't so bad about it, but
what are you trying to say,
there
Travis?
is a Gen 1 elitist mindset, or is that not actually a thing?
I think it's actually the exact opposite of that.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Explain.
Here's why. Okay, so he's talking the elitist mindset, and he's talking about like the OGs. OGs don't do that.
No,
Doe doesn't do that. There's a lot of other. I'm not even gonna sit here and try and name everybody, but there's people who built really crazy legendary scions that lay low. Look at Jim. He lays low. I mean, Rando doesn't really carry a huge, massive ego. He really doesn't.
No.
He doesn't. I can't think of any of the OGs that do. I see a lot of ego out of, like, you know,
well, I think
newer-ish people to XBs. Because to me, OG people are people who bought them in the era. To me, at least. Does that make sense?
yeah, to a certain extent. I'm trying to figure this out myself. I think
It's
what
kind of a weird question.
I think what it comes down to is this, okay?
I think there's
anytime you get into something, and this is the way I feel the way I am, because when I got into mini trucking, all these guys were doing the this, that, and other thing. And if you didn't do this, you were cool. But you know what? That's the way it is. Whenever you get into anything, it's more or less your mindset on how you look at it, okay?
Right.
Yeah, I looked at those guys as like, oh my God, they're so up there, you know? And I don't really see myself as that. I look up to people here too. I know that I've gone a little bit of ways, but I think it's something that you work into. You know, I don't think you look at us and, yeah, at some point, I think we all have ego. But
I think some people are entitled to have an ego, but I think there's often times where I don't really give a shit about people's egos.
No,
and this is not about XPs. This is in life.
Yeah.
In general. That, like, I just believe that, like, a little ego is okay, but there's, like, limits. Well, to me, at least. I mean, this is kind of like a weird question, but I see it makes sense.
I don't think there's elitist to anything. I think there's, you know, people that, and it may look that way to certain people just because that they're
Yeah, I
looking
mean,
up.
if you just bought an XB and you get on a forum, you might see it that way.
To me, I don't get me wrong. I've been an asshole, and I'll get in anybody's face about it if I think anybody's wrong, and I'll tell you you're a fucking idiot or you're a fucking asshole. And that's
Especially the moment you try and correct it, and then they want to not.
and that's
acknowledge
the
it.
way Rando is. I'm not meaning that to be elitist or anything. I'm just saying, hey, first off, if you don't know your shit and you giving advice to somebody out there can get hurt. So if you don't know anything, shut the fuck up. Okay, that's not.
You don't
being,
know how to handle Dode struts, or you don't know how to do something. Don't be fucking telling people how to do it.
That's not elitist. That's just saying, dude, know your shit. It's like the freaking board. There was a thing on paint. Okay, somebody's asking about paint, and these guys are talking about how spreading Bondo and this. And that. Listen, I'm not going to come
this
at
isn't
you.
a problem on just the XP pages. Either.
No, it's not. I'm going to tell you how it is because this is how it's done in a body shop. This is the correct way to do it. He's talking. There's people. Oh, go get some nail polish and fill it. No, dude, you don't need to do that. Okay, and I understand there's other ways of doing things, but I wasn't being an asshole about this. I just threw it out there. This is how it's done. You prime something. You wet sand it. You paint it. You clear it. You polish it. That's how you do it. Okay. And there's a lot of that out there, and that's just paint. But when you get people out there that
why
are,
I don't go on Facebook. Like, yeah, I'm on Facebook, but this is why I scroll past a lot of stuff.
when you've got guys on there, and this is one that came up a long time ago. I know Rando to remember this. A guy that was talking about taking the springs out of his vehicle, putting air shocks in the back, and run it that way so he can be low. And I remember Rando saying, "Dude, just pay for shipping. I'll send you the shit." There's a safety issue, okay? And we don't think about that. If you're cutting your suspension and say you're going to do hub mounts on the freaking back of an XP.
You got to know how to
If you don't know how to weld, you're not doing it. And it's not a freaking 120 welder. That's 220 all day. And know how to get it straight and know how to do that. You've got to understand that there's not necessarily like what we're talking about here, but a hierarchy that I know how to weld. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just don't want you to get killed.
Yeah.
So
That was more of this was almost more of a you question.
I guess it comes off that way sometimes.
I hope that I don't have an ego. I mean,
I
people
don't.
message me. I talk to people, like if I don't know something, I just either won't say anything or I'll be like, I don't know. You gotta ask someone else.
Dude, I've had so
know
many
what I mean?
people come to me, and I like it. I don't have any secrets. I don't have any animosity to anybody. If you guys send me messages, and it's happened, I usually answer. So
Yeah. I mean, I try to answer too. I mean, sometimes I get I'll get a weird one here or there, but I have good conversations with people online, but I even like stuff like we've done here. I had somebody message me about the hatch, the guy I brought up earlier, and he's like, I told him what we did. I'm like, I had a lot of help. I basically helped do this. I'm not the one who. I told him what we did and how we did it. This is somebody who had an understanding of what they were doing, but they're like, what's the best way to go? I'm like, well, we did one piece of sheet. But yeah, I hope that I don't have an ego.
no, I know it comes off sometimes that way, but you know what? I'm not doing it to hurt anybody. I'm just to be honest, there are so many people out there that are just assholes that we gotta put them in our place and shut them the fuck up.
Facebook is just becoming a cesspool.
It is.
Of just because the problem is you're dealing with just social media in general is kind of bad, but that's a whole nother thing we're not going to get into. You ready for the next question?
Let's get to the next one.
Yeah.
All of us love the wicked knobs, so can you tell us how that become a business?
This is a very simple thing.
That's a you question.
I needed a shift knob. I found a guy that was selling unpainted shift knobs. I bought them. When I was painting cars at this one body shop, Mondays there was never anything to do. So I sat there painting a shift knob for me. My buddies were like, dude, you need to paint these and sell them. So I bought a few more. And then I put them online, and I put it on Facebook, and boom.
Not only I have one wicked knob, I have two.
I really appreciate that. I'll tell you what. I don't push the wicked knobs because
time.
No, not necessarily that. If you want one, message me. I'll make you one.
Out.
But you know what? I don't do them the norm. I don't want to put out a product that you can pick up and it's something off the shelf. I want you guys to come to me and say, dude, here's my car. I've got this, this, and this. These are my colors, and I make it for you.
Don't say you want something plain. I'd be like, this is what I have. I got my car's green. My interior is orange. You know.
The closest thing I've got to anything off the shelf is the Jokers, and every one of the Jokers that have gone out has never been the same. I don't want to
none of the Jokers are ever the same.
I don't want to repeat myself because, dude, I've had them. Let's see. I did 2 of them that went to SEMA. The funny thing was they went to the same hotel when I shipped them out, and they were the same shift knob for 2 different vehicles, and I shipped them out there.
That's awesome.
And they got it in there, and those were guys that came to me and they said, "This is my car, this is my color," and I did it for them, and I did it. Each one is for them. Every vehicle. I don't want you guys, and I think that's part of the problem with my page is people are looking for like, hey, I want to click on this button and do it. Dude, it's custom. It doesn't work that way. You want one? I'll
do the footwork. Find me.
And
it's not hard. It's not hard to find anybody now.
When people come to me and they're like, "This is what I got," you don't even have to have an idea of what you want. You can come to me. You can show me your car. You can show me the colors, and I'll be like, "I got it."
I'll tell you. Well, the first one I got is like an earlier one. The lady that's bent over. That one looked great. It looks cool.
It was never finished.
I thought it was finished, but I don't think it was finished. But I had that one, and then he made me another one, which I wasn't going to tell anybody. But yeah, there'll be pictures of it at World of Wheels, and it is fucking. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but it is fucking cool.
And that's exactly
and the
it.
colors on it. It was
that's exactly it. The first one was one I had sitting on my shelf. I was waiting for somebody to want it, and I was going to put tattoos on it and be done.
You could still do it.
But your one that you got now was made for your car.
Yeah, that new one is fucking dope. I got to drill it out, though, and I'm like...
My theory on this is that,
okay,
your shift knob is pretty much the centerpiece of your interior. Life is too short to be caught with a boring knob. That's my...
Yeah, because what do people get? They get...
Dude, every shift knob I do, I go further than I do because... And this is something else I bring up. I don't like renderings in that either because you never know how things are going to end up.
Yeah, I don't.
When the paint's flowing and the ideas are going.
I want a drawing or like a concept of my car, but not before it's painted.
No.
Because somebody's going to come up with an idea or it's going to be plain on the drawing and then I'm going to
red interior, Pee-wee.
I'm starting to think about it a little bit more and more every day. I just like for a while with the red. I'm going to go real quick off topic here. We'll get back on.
We're way off
topic.
The
red. I keep seeing red interior. I'm like, but with the white, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that because other people have done that, but I don't know, man.
It's hard. But yeah, I thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I do want to sell my Wicked knobs. I'm not pushing them. You want one? Come find me. We'll make it, and I'll make it fucking perfect for your car. Thanks a lot.
Boom. There you go. Next question.
I keep doing that mouse.
My next question's for Kev.
Oh boy.
Basically the same thing. What's your favorite part about being a Gen 2 owner? Like, what's the biggest pro in your eyes, and what is the biggest con?
Okay, that's a me question.
Why would you want a Gen 2 over a first?
Because here's the thing with first gens, before I answer this question. They're becoming harder to find in decent shape that aren't total shit boxes or have been abused. You agree with that or no?
Yeah, it's
because everyone I looked at, there was something wrong with everyone I looked at. Granted, I wanted a stick shift, I wanted a 5-speed, and everyone I looked at was no good. But anyhow, why I bought the second gen? Well, I like the second gen. I like the body lines. I like the dashboard because I remember back in, when was it? It was 08. It was 2008. When I was in high school, this older kid I knew, he bought one brand new. And I got in this thing and I'm like, holy shit, this is cool. Because it had the centered up, gauge cluster. And I'm like, dude, I like this. And the back seat was huge and it had a sound system in it. And I ended up actually buying the same sound system he had at the time for my Taurus. And yeah, I like the dashboard. I like the way the interior is laid out. I like how spacious it is because it is bigger than a first gen.
It is different.
That and when
like
they're
a first-
low, it's like I just like them. I don't know what exactly it is, but I like them. And I still like first gens too. I don't want anyone to ever think I don't like first gens because I really do.
Dude, we're already an hour and 10.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's skip to the next one. Yeah.
How long do you guys think that the XB custom community is going to be around? Given the trend, the current new trend that's been happening lately of people wanting to part their cars out and just get rid of them altogether. Like, do you think that, like some of the OG big hitter type guys, do you think they're going to be around for a long time, be around forever? Or do you think eventually the XB community is just going to die? I hope that never does, because I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be... I love these cars. They're reliable. They're fun to modify. The community is great. And, that's just how I feel about it. But
You want to take that one first?
Dude, I'm going to say my big thing with it is I'm part of the Scion community. I'm not a Scion guy. I'm not. I bought the Scion XB because it was different, and that's what I want. I don't care about an XA. Don't care about a second-gen XB. Don't care about Relief Series. Don't care about any of that. It is cool to be accepted in this whole thing, society or whatever, and I guess I am part of it, but I don't see it that way myself. I built a vehicle. I built a couple of vehicles, and I do what I do. Whether it's going to go away or not, it's already deteriorating. We've got people that are leaving, and those people aren't in the community.
Yeah, true.
They're flashes in the pan, and that's the way it is. Hey, as far as the hardcore guys, we ain't going anywhere. There's some people that'll probably get tired of it and move on and not be there as much. But I don't see this. This is me. This is my life. I ain't going anywhere. I'll have that thing till I'm dead. It's never going to be for sale. The other XB will drive till the wheels fall off of it, and then it'll probably get cut into pieces. So those will always be around. I'm not going anywhere. So that's how I look at it. But I think things are changing. And that's part of the reason why we started this podcast. I love it to a certain extent. I don't necessarily, like I said, don't see myself in this, but I want to give back. I have done a lot, and you guys have given me a lot of support, and I love each and everybody out there because, this vehicle, if it wasn't for the likes and all the comments and all that shit, and not even that, if you want to talk shit because that fucking pushes me harder.
Oh, I love people when talk shit. When people talk shit about my car, I screenshot that shit. I think about it.
But
and then I just carry on. I don't get all upset by it. I've had some people say some really rough shit about my car.
Dude, everything that fucking...
real rough, too.
Anybody that fucking says it, I will look around and with a smile, say, fuck you, and go into the fucking garage. Because you know what? Those people that are doing that are the ones that are leaving.
Yeah. I'm gonna answer this a little bit differently. The XB thing might fall off for a while. It might deteriorate. All your real people, your real dedicated hardcore people like Oz, myself, Rake, people there's a lot of people that really have a thing for these aren't going anywhere. This is going to be like the van people who are still really holding on to the van culture, which that culture, people complain that they think mini truck culture is dead. No, van culture is dead. And I've been on Instagram. I keep hitting these tags. They're still out there. There's still people. And I think what's going to happen to XBs is they're going to end up like van people. There's going to be people that hold on to them.
It's like the Volkswagen thing. It's going to go away.
It's going to go away and it's going to come back. But I think your real people aren't going anywhere. Now, I think you're going to see your temporary people, come and go.
I think as far as the community goes, this is again one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast because, Pee Wee and I both we really do enjoy it.
We really love these things.
and
We do.
I want to teach those guys out there, instead of selling it off, build it, man. Build the shit out of it.
I agree.
You know, I've seen people I was a mini trucker. I saw the Honda guys come and go. They sold their Hondas off, bought a freaking crotch rocket, rode the crotch rocket. Now they got a Jeep. Now they got 3 kids, a fucking wife, and a minivan. That's not what it's about. It's about this. Sitting down, grabbing a beer, sitting here with your buddy, having a good time, and working on cars. That's what it's about. And I hope to God that all you people out there that are watching
The
this...
phrase, what moves you, is kind of means something to me, I think. What moves you?
I just want to inspire people. That's all I want to do, is to push people and inspire them to go out and do that. And whether the people are gone or not, it doesn't matter. You know, it did hurt me a little bit here when we were doing this podcast and I wasn't seeing the views go up. But dude, I got 100 and some views each time. I got 100 people to sit down and watch this and listen to me ramble. That kicks ass.
Okay, now here's the thing. You're like you know, for a brief moment you go, oh, there's only 100 people watching. Get 100 people together in one spot and go, that's what 100 people looks like.
I know.
You know what I mean? You have to think of it like
but
that.
But God damn it, the fucking Khloe Kardashian's got
I don't
fucking...
give a fuck about that bitch. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I love everybody out there that's watching this.
We don't have boobs. That's why we don't have thousands of views. But I feel like the people, like the real people, are people who watch us.
And I'll
I'm
tell
not
you,
saying that there's not real
we
people.
We get responses, and I'll tell you, each time we get a message somewhere, somebody saying something, dude, it makes us run out and want to do this more. That's why Pee-wee and I are putting this shit together. We're putting our own money into it.
This is why we're at number 10.
And we want to do this. So I hope you guys are appreciating it. Let's freaking bind ourselves back together. Let's show those guys that are selling their stuff off. Dude, don't sell it. Come on back.
No, let them buy their stuff, and then you buy it, and then you hoard it.
Well, here's another thing.
And then you do something with it.
Here's another thing, and I'm going to bring this up. We are almost kind of freaking cannibalistic on this. If somebody posts something and says, I'm going to do a part out, there's not one person on there that's saying, dude, why do you want to sell it? They're all going, dude, I want those wheels, or I want this, or I want that. Dude,
I don't want nobody's fucking wheels.
We got to work together, okay? We got to work together and be like, dude, why do you want to do that? I remember Thomas Warren, who...
I talked people out of selling
has
stuff.
Has been in this for freaking 4 or 5 years now. I remember when he sold his thing, I'm like, dude, don't do it. That's what needs to happen. Okay? You guys all know who I love to talk to. I'm out there. You guys know that we bond together. We get through this shit and we build some cool stuff. I want the other guys down there. I don't want you to look up at us and saying, that guy's an asshole, he's an elitist. I want you to say, dude, how did you get where you are? Come ask me questions or whatnot. Let's build this community back up. Let's say we don't need Scion as a dealer to do this. We fucking did it ourselves. That's what we went.
Well, the whole Scion thing...
We don't even,
you know what? I don't even know where I'm going with this. This might turn into a tangent, so do we have any more questions?
We don't need a freaking dealer or anything to keep it going. Let's fucking do it, guys. Next question.
Guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. I'm driving down the road right now, but I got a few questions for you guys.
We played the first one last.
What is your favorite part of being a Gen 1 owner? What's your favorite thing about it? And also, what is the biggest con to being a Gen 1 owner?
First of all, buckle your seatbelt.
That's funny how we played the first question last. We got to thank you a lot there, man. We really appreciate it. I want to thank
all of our people who sent in questions. And I'm sorry if I didn't find any. I thought I got them all. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, message me and I'll answer on the next one.
For sure. As far as why, dude, I'll tell you what. How do I get this across? I love my first gen. It's the only vehicle I care about as far as Scion goes. I love it. What was the damn question again?
Oh, fuck. This isn't good.
I could do this. Sorry.
You're going to... Oh, my God. It's getting late, guys. It's been a long day.
Thanks for having me on. I'm driving down the road right now, but I got a few questions for you guys. The first one is Oz. What is your favorite part of being a Gen 1 owner? Like, what's your favorite thing about it? And also, what is the biggest con to being a Gen 1 owner?
The only con I have is I can't get respect anywhere else other than Scion community.
I second that motion. So
it is harder than hell to take a Scion. I've seen guys with freaking Hondas and shit that have bagged them and broken into the mini truck world. It's really hard to shed that. I think that there's a bad cloud over that aspect of it, and hopefully we can shed that. That's the only con I see. To me, the Scion is great, dude. I love that car. It's nothing for me other than styling. Everything else I've changed that I don't like or, whatnot. I just love the vehicle. It stood out, and I wanted to take that further, and now I try to make it stand out in a field of vehicles that stand out.
They're just cool. They're just cool little cars. That's what it is for me. I mean, I'm not a first-gen owner, but,
Well, it's like
that's why we bought them. They were fucking cool.
Yeah. It really is. I'll tell you, dude, Scion really did some cool shit when they decided to do this, and they pushed the whole be different, do this, that. And
I love the marketing.
I really am sad that I was not around for the whole freaking Scion
almost
United shit, But I'm here where I am, and we're going to enjoy this, and we're going to keep going with it, man. I don't know if that answers your question or not. I really don't see it as a pro or a con to anything. It's just, it's what I liked, and that's why I did it.
I figure somebody's got to build a second gen. Why not me?
Dude, that's why you're here.
Why not? I've come in here and I've even changed your perspective a little bit because you really hated. You really despised second gens, and I softened you up on that.
Well, and I'll tell you did, because I was going to get a second gen instead of a first gen. And
I'm kind of glad you went and got another first gen.
I love it. To me,
this here, what some people don't know is he refers to this as XB Farm because there are always at least 2 XBs here. There are 2 in the garage. There's 1 outside, and in the summer, mine's out there too. And then there's always somebody over here who has an XB.
And it's great. Fun. And that's what it's about. We just want to have fun. We want to inspire people to do some shit, and it doesn't really matter. A lot of the shit talk that we do, if you want to call it shit talk, is just that. I was motivated by fucking people talking crap and whatnot, and that's why I say it. If I give you guys a hard time on there, don't take it personally. Just say, dude, he's trying to get me going, and that's it. And we are an hour and 22 minutes into this motherfucker.
We're gonna have to keep everything else short.
I'm gonna tell you guys, this has been a good time. We're gonna continue on with this shit. Maybe we just need to cut this down and make 2.
What do you mean make 2?
2 videos out of it. I don't know.
I
think it's taco time.
We're 20. Yeah, hell, fuck yeah, it's taco time. I'm starving, dude.
So guys, I really appreciate this, and I know we're long-winded, and I hope to God it's
take a break,
entertaining for you guys. I've listened to them and I find them entertaining, but maybe it's just me.
The narcissistic side of you.
But I do appreciate this, and I really love the fact that we can sit here and do this, and like I said, it's amazing to sit here and get the messages and the stuff that we get, and it's not to say it's a whole lot. We get people messaging us.
I'm not going to lie.
And Melissa, we thank you very much because we see you comment. I know Pee-wee's mentioned it. I've mentioned it. And it's great to have somebody that's right there.
We recognize the people who fuck with us.
Not only that, dude. I'll tell you what. We said to share it last time. We got a lot of people sharing this.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate that. And I know I've commented to everybody. I apologize. There were several of you. I can't remember your names now that the camera's on and I've had several beers. But, I really appreciate it, guys.
And the other thing with this, too, is we are niche on top of niche. We are down to 2 generations of 1 car.
And
we're not even talking about a brand.
Stop selling them off. Because you guys are parting them out.
Don't sell them.
And then
why? So you can turn them back to stock, and then what?
And then you're not here for the cool shit. Have you had enough? Are we ready for tacos?
I'm ready for.
I'm ready for fucking tacos. You guys ready for tacos? Let's go get some tacos.
All right, thanks, guys.
are back.
And backwards.
And backwards. Pee Wee, do you like that chair? I think we covered.
Yeah, I like this chair. We're gonna have to get it another one. So that concludes the interview of the great two videocasters of the XB world.
We're the only.
We're the only until someone decides they can do it better.
The bar is not set very high.
It's set high enough. It's set high enough to keep any stooges out.
I don't know. We're pretty stoogish. Did you watch the intro?
I don't know. It depends if we change the intro. But
no, we're not. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the thing. We're going to keep it kind of short again. And we're just going to talk about our sponsors. We want to thank Mr. Steve Ball at Motive Art Concepts for his continued support and whatnot. I know we've got some we got some stuff coming from Mr. Steve Ball.
I know, I'm excited.
We got, not only did he's doing our cozies, so we'll have some nice new cozies
with the new logos on them,
with the new logos, and we'll have those for you guys as well. If you want some, we'll have those for sale. Then you can keep your beer cold just like we keep our beer cold in this garage.
Style.
He's also doing some shirts for us for our chapter, Sunset, Illinois, which those turned out sick.
I know what he was gonna do, but I haven't seen a picture of him yet.
You haven't?
No, he sent the picture to you, right? I don't think he must.
Basically, that banner front
on black. Yeah,
on gray.
Everything he sent us is awesome. So
and then the back has a small sunset on it, which is cool.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was gonna be anything on the back.
We got all kinds of shirts and everything's done where everything's on the back normally, like most shirts.
I like stuff on the front.
But for us, we have bowling shirts that we wear, and we'd kind of like to show off a little bit on there. So he hooked us up with that and made us a killer. You stink.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You ate the refried beans, didn't you, motherfucker?
I ate all of them, but I didn't do anything. Dude, if I ripped ass, I'd tell you.
I thought I heard something.
No, it's that chair. Pull the chair. That chair makes a bunch of noise. I couldn't even sit on that chair anymore.
Anyway, so yeah, thanks to Mr. Steve Ball for that.
Yes.
Brian over at Darkside, he's got the cookies. We got to thank Brian. He's the one that hooked us up. All those guys down in Florida that got the stickers at the Box Lifestyle show. Brian's the one that hooked us up.
He weeded all of them out.
Yeah, he did those for us. We got to thank him a lot for that. He does great work. Make sure you hit him up. We will be doing a new commercial for him. Hopefully it was on this one. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I got to see how
he's getting a commercial.
He's got a commercial, but we're going to do another one with it. His products are great, dude. I know a lot of you guys aren't necessarily into the club jackets and whatnot like the mini truck guys are, but dude, his embroidery is awesome.
His embroidery is top notch. I have two of his hats. I've got
I'm always
my bowling shirt that he did.
And
did the patches.
That's one of the things that we want to bring up. All you guys are out there, and I realized on when I was listening, dude, I really talk in circles a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Was thinking about it, I don't wear hats off the rack.
I haven't in a long time.
I haven't bought a freaking hat off the rack in a long time, and it's amazing.
Not without doing something to it.
Seriously, you could hit up Brian. You could probably get a one-of-a-kind hat made the way you want it.
Well,
less than a freaking hat.
If you get a sports hat, oh yeah, he could do probably as the same or better. His stitching is better than what they do at Lids. And the other thing Brian will do is he'll do all the custom shit that Lids won't. Because if you ask specific something from Lids, the kid behind the counter looks like with this blank stare, they'll go, I don't know how to do that, or like they won't allow you to.
He's gonna get $15 an hour now. He better.
And the other thing they won't do at Lid is they won't put major cities on hats.
Why is that?
Copyright. Like they don't want a hat to say Chicago or like New York. I don't know. This is like years ago I figured this out, and I'm like, and it's an agreement with the hat companies, especially New Era. Anyway, but Brian does that, and he'll do custom stuff, and
yeah, dude, anything
and he takes PDFs and will make it happen. So
yeah, amazing stuff. You've seen the pictures, you've seen it in the ads. Great guy. and you can work with him and get whatever. Same with Steve. You know, both those guys, they do want, Steve and Brian alone, I've gone to, and I'm nuts with ideas. Hey, I want this. Both of these guys. Oh,
they both make it happen. You just tell them what you want, and it happens.
I still got to get Brian my freaking Vans hat. I think I'm gonna.
Dude, yeah, because
I think I'm gonna have him change it. I want the old school mini trucking logo in a Mexican flag with the sunset under here. I'll be hitting you up, Brian. You guys want something like that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just gotta chill.
It is a little chilly in here.
Temperatures dropping a little
Anyway,
I want to thank our next sponsor.
Who's that?
Dode.
Dode goes without
I'm
saying.
on Dodes. He's on Stodes.
You're
All the
not
cool kids
if
are
you're
on
not
Dodes.
on Dodes. Anyway, Dode, thank you a lot. We're going to get to these parts. I'm going to actually take those and send them out and get them powder coated, I think.
Send them over to Brian. Brian will do them.
Make them shiny. Scotty's got some of my stuff, so I'm going to
to have Scotty do it then.
So we're going to get those powder coated up.
Of ours.
Then we're going to do some tech for Rando. Rando, like we said, go ahead and do the shout out on those if you want.
Bumper brackets. He wants to do a tech video on them. They're cool. They're metal.
And, of course, the freaking front bumper mounts. Dude,
yes.
If you're on air...
These look solid, dude. I'm impressed.
If you're on air, you got to have this part. I'm telling you. Every time you air out on uneven pavement and the bumper hits, it's going to freaking bend, twist. You're going to pop those things loose. The rubber band things with the freaking hair tie.
Oh, God, they're so ugly. People need to stop running those. I get it becomes a thing. Or
this is clean. That's clean.
Can I hold it in front of the TV and see it?
You want
Get
that,
one of these.
You want that clean look. Hit those up. I don't know what the pricing is on that. Hit up Randoed for it.
They're not outrageous. I know that.
I think the main thing is just getting a hold of Randoed. You got to get him on Messenger or something.
Hit him up on Messenger, and
I know
that's how you contact him.
He's like me. You got to go to hit him up somewhere online because of all that. But Wicked Knobs. You guys are out there. I really thank you guys all for the support for Wicked Knobs. If you guys are interested in something, like we said earlier on in this interview, if you're wanting a knob, hit me up. We're not talking off the shelf. We're talking you are not going to have one that looks like anybody else's. So I know it's a little bit of more money and whatnot, but you got to understand that it takes
They're
time.
nice when you get them, and he clear coats them. So, like, I've had mine for a while. You eat Popeyes and Burger King and whatever,
You're grabbing on that ass?
You grab on the handle. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't wear out. It hasn't faded. Nothing.
All my knobs are clear coated with automotive clear coat. They are as durable as outside of your vehicle. You can polish them. Polish your knob. Don't forget to polish that knob. You got to make sure it's shiny. Polish that knob with whatever you've got in there to clean your interior, and you got it clean, and it will be as shiny as the outside of your car for the long haul. Like I said, made to order. If you don't see what I got on my Facebook page, let me know, because we can make things work. Who else we got? Box Lifestyle. These guys are great. They've been in this for
like
a
and
long
subscribe
time.
on Instagram. They've been posting cool
Dude,
stuff.
I'll tell you what.
They've been stepping up a little bit recently. I don't know what the deal is, but
most of our pictures that I get for the intros and outros
are from Box Lifestyle.
Yeah. So I thank you guys for that. They've got some killer shit, and they're the scene, man. They are pretty much what's keeping it going.
I think they're the biggest.
Yeah. They are.
Like XB related,
well, they go a little
and
further
they still actively post.
They go
past
with other shit. They're showing Ford Flexes and whatnot.
They're doing another Bovagon too.
They are, and I was gonna bring.
I didn't catch the date. It's next year.
We got time.
So you got time. We'll get you the dates, but I want to be there.
I said that last year. I'm not saying it again.
Well, we're just gonna go.
It's reverse psychology. Don't fuck with it.
Oh, okay. It's a long time away. I got time to ponder it.
But
we're going to wrap this up. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hit the subscribe. Hit
like,
the
share, subscribe.
Like, share that bitch. Get us out there because we're egomaniacs and we need more people. But thank you very much for following us. We appreciate all your love and everything. So thank you very much. And we will see you again with our next interview. And hopefully the weather's starting to get better so we can get to work and do some tech.
For episode 12.
Holy shit, 12?
We're going to be at 12 now.
12.
Because this is episode 11.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Climb so high, 100 trees. So don't look down, just follow me. Leaning on a photograph, and our memories, they come alive. Lay me down, get slip right out of my mind.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that first and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a lisp like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry young man, there's no skating here. And so we kick, push,